The first thing I wanted to talk about today is the new album, Memphis. And if you could sort of talk about why you decided to go there to record the album and what the experience was like of making a record in Memphis.
I'm not hearing you clearly. You're asking me why I chose Memphis to record?
Yes, and what it was like to make the album.
Okay. Well, we chose the studio in Memphis because both the producer, Steve Jordan, and myself had experience working there years past. And the nature of the sound that we were trying to get and the sort of feeling that we wanted to give to the songs and our rhythm section, we felt that we were going to best get at this studio. It's got a sort of retro sound, very analog sounding, and there's something about just the electronics and the equipment and the feel of the room that is very comfortable. It's very time-tested, and it's kind of getting straight to the point where we wanted to get. I suppose that we could have recorded this in other places, in technically more advanced places, but it could have taken days, or we may have never arrived at the sound that we wanted. So we went straight to the source. There was a bit of, I won't call it nostalgia, but there was a sort of a soul and a feeling that we wanted to capture with the songs. All the songs were really not essentially rhythm and blues songs, but we wanted to put them in a rhythm and blues vein. And we wanted this common denominator of place and personnel that would bring us to our idea. And musicians were chosen very much for the style that they play in. They're musicians that we've both worked with, and it was sort of a confluence of ideas between Jordan and myself. And it just seemed that there was a very obvious way to go. And using these players in that studio, and the material was stuff that we kicked around over a course of really just a few weeks. And we gave ourselves plenty of time to make this record, but it turned out to go so well that we found ourselves finished with all the tracks in 3 days. On the fourth day, we brought in some horns and strings and went home, had some barbecue, and went home that morning.
So that being sounds like you're in the right place at the right time.
Hello?
Yeah, Boz, you still there? Sorry. I couldn't hear what you just said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's better. Yeah.
What was the next part of your question?
I just said it sounds like you were in the right place, in the right timing. It was just like a sort of you picked the right place to make the record. Everything went smoothly. I was just sort of finishing up the question.
Yeah, it just worked. You can make a lot of plans and sort of scheme and think it's going to go one way, but it usually does not. But this was a case in which everything clicked, everything worked.
And is that now that you've made so many records, and at this point in your career, is that something you look for with the project, that it has to sort of be the right fit? If you're going to make new music now at this point, do you want it to sort of sing sort of click in a certain way? Or
Repeat that question, please.
I was saying that at this point in your career that you've made a lot of records, you obviously have a lot of music that you've created. So when you're looking for a new project, is that especially important to you that you want to feel like the elements are really going to click and fall into place in a certain way if you're going to go through the trouble of doing something like this?
Well, you try to stack the deck however you can to come out with a deal that you're looking for. So, to me, the important part of any recording is the musicians I work with and that musical collaborator that I work with. I like to work in tandem with an arranger who is a strong instrumentalist, and usually it's a keyboard player. In this case, it was Steve Jordan, who's a drummer. But he's a very fine arranger and quite a leader in the studio. So one of my desires in making this record and in working in this project was really just to be a singer, play a little guitar, and have a close collaboration with my producer and arranger, but I really just wanted to concentrate on being a vocalist and choosing.
And how are the songs working out for your show? I know you're incorporating them into your set. Are you enjoying performing them live as well?
I just love it. The songs are so immediate and so accessible that it's just been really easy to fold them in to the other material, stuff that I've been playing from, radio hits and some blues and rhythm and blues favorites. So it's just, I've had a new sense of versatility, and it's just been a great year for me on stage live.
Yeah, I would think that the new material would just sort of complement your older stuff nicely, just stylistically and just in terms of shaping the set. So.
That's right. Yeah. It just fits like a suit of old comfortable clothes. Everything is of a piece,
Yeah. And you're talking about the importance of collaboration in the studio, and I was looking back to your career, and with Soap Degrees, I guess you're probably your most famous record. You had the musicians who later formed Toto. That so it's kind of interesting. I think note of trivia that people probably don't always know that you sort of had them with you before they went on to do something else. So did you sense at all they were going to become a household name themselves, or?
Yeah, I did. There was. I think after some time, you work with a lot of great players, and by great players, I mean every once in a while you come across some music. And
it was so to make your name also famous record. You had the musicians formed. So it's interesting. I think note that people probably don't always know they sort of have the trivia with you. So we went on, to do something else. So you sense before they were all going to do something, become a house. Did you? I think themselves, they were agreed. You most probably.
I did.
Later into your most photo, agree. Probably
you work with
later in this your most
players,
collaborationist, so you guess your famous record you had and the musicians performed, so it's interesting. That people probably always know nicely, sort of have nicely with you nicely, went on nicely, everything else so nicely, you sense nicely, you're gonna nicely become a house nicely themselves nicely, nice.
I did. It was after some you work with players, and players on every once in a while cross
so you guess your famous record you had and the musician formed, so sing sure no that people always know people sort of have with you the went on the everything else so the you sent the gonna the become a help the from themselves the
I did
the
it was after some you work with players and was players on was everyone was cross was
so
was
you guess your
was
famous record
was
you had and the musician formed, so sing sure no that people always know sort of have with you they went on everything else so you sent gonna become a help from themselves.
I did it was after some with you work with players and with musician players on musician everyone musician cross musician
So you guess your famous record you had and the musician formed, so sing sure no that people always know sort of have with you they went on everything else so you sent gonna become a help from themselves.
I did it was after some
records
you work with
records
players and players on everyone cross
so you guess your famous record you had and the musician formed, so sing sure no that people always know sort of have with you they went on everything else so you sent gonna become a help from themselves.
I did it was after some you work with players and players on everyone cross
so you guess your famous record you had and the musician formed, so sing sure no that people always know sort of have with you they went on everything else so you sent gonna become a help themselves.
I did it was after some you work with players and players on everyone cross
so you guess your famous record you had and the musician formed, so sing sure no